It's the Diamond K Show.
So much going on in the world. You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K, sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like,
OnFireTV.com.
Wow. Here we go. Welcome back. Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here, of course. The DiamondKShow.com, radioonfire.com, onfire-tv.com. And, you know, hypocrisy is a thing. Hypocrisy is a thing. So former President Donald Trump, who was a staunch critic of people who stayed quiet, people who pled the fifth, said that he was going to remain silent at his deposition with New York State investigators today and cite those very same privileges. Yes. The Donald is, no surprise to anybody, a hypocrite. A hypocrite. So Donald Trump claims that he invoked the Fifth Amendment. Of course, this is protection against self-incrimination, as he testified today in the New York Attorney General's long-running civil investigation into his business dealings. So he said this via a statement. Trump arrived at Attorney General Tish James' Manhattan office in a motorcade. You know, he's extra. But this was shortly before 9 a.m. today. And then, I guess an hour or so later, announced that he declined to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the U.S. Constitution. I once asked, if you're innocent, why are you taking the fifth? Now I know the answer to that question, he said in the statement. You know, rewriting history. He didn't ask that. I mean, he asked it rhetorically, but he's made a statement that if they don't do that, if they plead the fifth, then they're guilty. That means that they're guilty. But he says that when your family, your company, and all your people in your orbit have become targets of an unfounded, politically motivated witch hunt supported by lawyers, prosecutors, and the fake news media, you have no choice. So, of course, people on the right, his supporters, conservatives, are going to eat this stuff up. As vociferous as Trump has been in defending himself in written statements and on the rally stage, legal experts said answering questions in a deposition was risky because anything he said could potentially be used against him in a parallel criminal investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney. This still makes him look guilty. I think that he understands that. Fifth Amendment protects people from being compelled to be witnesses against themselves in criminal cases. Does he think that this is the end? The Trump kids have testified. Still, a New York University law professor, Stephen Gillers, said that he was surprised, given Trump's previous experience with depositions, a legal term for sworn testimony that's not given in court. Jousting with lawyers at depositions while avoiding lying is something that he's proud of. He normally likes to talk about how smart he is, but he was scared today. I'm sure that his attorneys feared that his nature would imperil him. He was being protected from himself. Trump has undergone many depositions dating to his career as a real estate developer. He's sometimes seemed to relish in giving answers. For example, he said that he was pleased to have had the opportunity to tell his side last October in a lawsuit being brought by protesters who said that his security guard roughed them up outside of Trump Tower back in 2015. However, he invoked the Fifth Amendment to refuse to answer 97 questions in a 1990 divorce deposition. Messages seeking comment were left with James' office. I doubt if she's going to answer any of those. These events unfolded as a flurry of legal activity surrounding the former president has been dusting up. Just a few days before this, FBI agents searched his home in Florida, the Mar-a-Lago estate, as part of an unrelated federal probe into whether he took classified records when he left the White House. He's all over the place. New York's investigation, which is led by Tish James, involves allegations that Trump's company, the Trump Organization, misled lenders and tax authorities about the value of prized assets like golf courses and skyscrapers. My great company and myself are being attacked from all sides, Trump wrote on Truth Social, the social media platform he founded. Banana Republic, he says. In May, James' office said that it was nearing the end of its investigation against Trump. So, it's either Trump, his company, or both. The Republicans' deposition was one of the few remaining pieces. As I said, the Trump kids have already testified. Donald Jr. and Ivanka, two people who are definitely familiar with the matter. Definitely familiar with the matter. So James is a Democrat, and it said in court filings that her office has uncovered significant evidence that Trump's company used fraudulent or misleading asset valuations to obtain a host of economic benefits. It was fraud, including loans, insurance coverage, tax deductions. No surprise here. This is how he gets down. James alleges that the Trump Organization exaggerated the value of its holdings to impress lenders or misstated what land was worth to slash its tax burdens. So also they're tax cheats. Happens, right? The company even exaggerated the size of Trump's Manhattan penthouse, saying it was nearly 3 times its actual size, a difference in value of about $200 million, according to Tish James's office. Of course, Trump has denied the allegations, contending that seeking the best valuation is a common practice in the real estate industry. That might be true. He's also accused James, who's black, of racism. Says that she's a racist. That's why she is pursuing this investigation. People don't generally have a constitutional right to avoid questions in a civil lawsuit. But Trump's legal team fought James' attempt to question him for months, arguing that the district attorney's parallel investigation created a risk he could face criminal charges. Lawyers in James' office have assisted with that criminal investigation. So this Trump stuff continues. This is not over. Hopefully, we will see the result of some of this. But, Trump supporters are going to think what they think. And, all of the other folks, the sane folks, to look at this. But Mar-a-Lago being searched is just one of several Trump probes. Now, the GOP is rallying around Donald Trump following the FBI search of his estate. They're calling for the defunding of the FBI. Imagine that. The hypocrisy The hypocrisy. Trump has tightened his grip on the GOP. There were elections yesterday. And, it's been an uneven start for Donald Trump's election year tour. His tour of revenge. Succeeding in ousting Republican members from Congress, boosting the Trump-backed America's First candidates who beat back the establishment and really has strengthened his grip on the Republican Party. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of those election victories and where he stands with regards to that. You listen to the Diamond K Show, of course, on fire-tv.com, radioonfire.com, and thediamondkshow.com. We'll be back right after this.
On Fire TV is a streaming network for a generation on the move.
Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here. And we're talking about Trump and his grip on the GOP, the Republican Party. Ron Johnson, the most vulnerable Republican senator up for re-election, will take on Wisconsin's Democratic Lieutenant Governor in November in one of this year's most closely watched Senate contests. Also, a member of the squad, the progressive lawmakers, survived a very tough primary challenge from a Democratic rival running on a pro-police platform, while voters in Vermont are poised to send a woman to Congress for the first time in the state's 231-year history. So let's talk about some of the election results, some takeaways from last night. As far as Trump's grip on the Republican Party, the midterm primary season reaches its final contest. Trump's hold on Republicans has strengthened. In the spring and the early summer, his endorsement record, a metric that he touts as a testament to his enduring popularity, it was up and down. It was uneven. Hits and misses. In Georgia, the fixation of Trump's, after many Republican officials rejected his, attempts to overturn the 2020 election, most of the former president's handpicked candidates were defeated at the ballot box. Georgia's not going his way. But as the season grounded on, his enduring sway was apparent. The fact that he still has a hold on these folks was clear. Consider the following. Trump opened August with his slate of election deniers beating establishment-backed candidates in Arizona. By the time the race reached Wisconsin yesterday, Tim Michels, a wealthy Trump-backed businessman, won the Republican primary for Wisconsin governor. He defeated former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch, who is an establishment-backed candidate. In Connecticut yesterday, Leora Levy surged to an unexpected victory over a more moderate rival in a liberal-leaning state that has historically drawn moderate Republican candidates. On Monday, just hours after the FBI searched his Florida home, Trump held a tele-town hall rally for her. Another rival credited his late endorsement for her win. Meanwhile, most of the 10 Republican members of Congress who voted to impeach him have either retired or lost their races. That includes Michigan's rep, who lost his race last week, along with Washington State rep, who conceded on Tuesday, Liz Cheney, the vice chair. It is very interesting. Now, she, of course, is the House January 6th committee vice chair investigating Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. She will be on the Wyoming ballot next week and is expected to lose. She may not, but she's expected to. Now, those developments, combined with a rush of support from Republicans after the FBI executed this search warrant on Trump's Florida home, are clear reminders of Trump's looming presence. We are not done with him yet, and it appears that he is not done with the GOP. So the squad got a victory. And when they say the squad, right? That's the name. Do they actually do they own that name? Like, do they really wear it? I'm not sure, but some minor victories for the squad, and a lot of other things. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, onfire-tv.com. U.S. inflation slows from a 40-year peak, but still remains very, very high. I mean, this thing here, is definitely one of the main things that the American people are going to be concerned about going into this general election in November. One of the main things. Now, there's some other stuff, but inflation sitting high on the list. Minnesota's Rep. Ilhan Omar spent heavily to oust the divisive lawmakers, the squad member. They spent a lot of money trying to get her up out of there, Ilhan Omar. They failed, though, again. She narrowly defeated her challenger and all but guaranteed her victory in November. She's in an overwhelmingly Democratic district centered around Minneapolis. It was the second time a well-financed group had mobilized unsuccessfully against her. So she is still, doing her thing, and, opponents unsuccessful trying to get her out of there. So shout out to Ilhan Omar surviving another challenge. Now, what happens is that a lot of these progressive candidates, they get in, and the establishment doesn't like it. So they find somebody that they can finance to try to oust the progressive candidate. Many times they succeed. Many times they fail. And this is another one for the progressives. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, onfire-tv.com. I am here weekdays, 6 p.m., running down the news, giving you my thoughts on the top stories of the day. You want to get in touch with me, very easy to do that. djdiamondk@gmail.com. That's how you do it. Of course, on social media at The Diamond K Show. And, of course, onfire-tv.com/Diamond K. You can check out episodes of my show. You can stream my music. Of course, I have a healthy catalog of music out there. And I'll be back here tomorrow. Of course, today is my birthday. So for anybody, all the Leos out there, definitely shout out to all the Leos. Thanks for all the birthday love. And I'm happy to be here. Happy to see another year. And I will see everybody tomorrow, 6 p.m. right here, The Diamond K Show.
It's the Diamond K Show.
So much going on in the world. You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K, sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like,
OnFireTV.com.